Saturday Showdown. Guangdong Freaks versus Leaf Sandbox.
It looks like they may go for it. Now, it also could be Silas top. You know, it could be Silas top. Let's see what D+ want to do.
There are so many things that could happen here. Will be the Silas locked in. We'll just have to hold on to see where it's going to go. I do assume that the Rumble is going to be in the hands of Canna this time around. Always go in. Let's see whether it works out. So we jump onto the Rift for game one.
Together, but it hasn't really been they who have been making decisive calls in the late game. It has kind of been Deft, it seems like, and it's led to Deft having sometimes less than stellar positioning in team fights and hasn't been able to make the big impact.
He's going to be playing as, man, it was a long time ago.
It was also Birdal who played against it.
And Doran beat him.
Yeah.
So I guess Rumble is broken and we just didn't know for 500 days, even though we did.
As,
We're just going to have a look at it again, as actually it was Dove. So never mind. It was Live Sandbox, but they didn't have Birdal at the time.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, that didn't make sense to me because
it was a bit confusing. I got a bit, I just believed what was in front of me. I Ron Burgundied a little bit, you know, I just read it. I didn't think about it.
I did the same, and I was kind of like, I was also kind of feeling like, has it really been that many days since February? It has been. Canyon here, a little bit late for the follow-up.
Yeah, Bible actually going to have to flash away from this one as Canyon will finally turn up. Deft is still trying to keep them interested as the Q comes down. There's the flash, and Teddy picks up first blood. The crashdown comes in. Can they even get the kills, though, as Kyle gets the headbutt pulse? It's a double for Teddy. It could even be the triple, as never mind. The flash going to be used for Canyon. The blades are called, and Teddy will get it. He does go down in the end, but that is a triple kill for Isaiah, and I know who won that fight. But once again, a little bit late on the engage. Voidseeker comes forward. Willa still in that brush as they crash down once again. If you are, I guess they're just not done fighting. As Kyle's going to have to get out of there. Oh, the passive almost enough there. Steadfast presence good.
No, the kill does not come through. So walk back to Teddy's first-person view. And I mean, look at the positioning here and how he's setting up these feathers constantly at the exact right angle. And then Alistair flashes away, he flashes for the kill. And he's actually like, I think we could win this. And we'll take out the Rel first. He says, kill Rel first. And then red buff will actually be what does him in the end. But if he didn't have red buff, he's 100% going to get that kill and walk away.
There's the clap as well from Teddy.
There's the Willer moment. There it is.
He's like, whoa, that's a Teddy moment. We haven't had a true one of those in quite some time. Not too bad. And as everything sort of settles, we can see the gold back to completely even. Might be a plate coming down as well. A headbutt does come through. Pulverized there as Canyon's down here once again. Crash down towards Teddy. Doesn't have level 6. That's why they're here. They're going to punish him. And they pick up the kill. Canyon gets some revenge. As Showmaker is like, you guys having a party?
So Showmaker,
invite me?
Showmaker was probably the one who started to say, like, I think we make another play as this isn't over yet.
Yeah, Kyle is just going to channel a Hex Flash for fun, and Deft is going to grab his first of the game.
He picks Anatopos every time.
Yeah, but he didn't. He picked random chains, all right? Though I guess he didn't get to pick a weapon, as there is the engage. Unbreakable Will comes down, and they do once again have to throw out the ultimate from Willa. Willa hasn't been able to find very much value for his Poppy ultimate so far. Has to use it very defensively. Magnustorm comes in, they just engage onto the jungler as Canyon gets the kick, but he's not going to be able to follow up. Featherstorm comes down. Equalizer is so good from Canna to make sure that they can't get in. And over the wall goes Deft, finds the killer instinct as there's an all-out onto a overheating Rumble, but Deft is going to be able to chase down the cow. They are going to solidify steak for dinner if they would like it. But I don't think shellfish is on the menu.
I don't know about this TP. Trying to hard force.
Well, Emperor's Divide comes down. Another one comes back as he's traveling all over the place. Closer, it's not exactly the teleport he was looking for. I like the idea, the aggression, but the outcome not really what he was looking for. Showmaker dodges the Emperor's Divide and then scoops the Azir right back up again. The value of the Silas in this composition, just kind of insane, because Keeper's Verdict is such a game-warping ultimate, and if Willa keeps having to use them so incredibly defensively, then D+ are the team that has that advantage. And then once he gets to high level, we've got another fight on our hands. Showmaker is now unbreakable if he would like to be, but Bible not so much. He is just a lady who can transform into a horse trying to live, and he's not going to be able to do so. The Pigeon going to take her down, as Showmaker's going to have to flash now. Live Sandbox trying to chase after him. He does manage to chain his way It's just a nice thing. So I agree. Canna is going to Super Galaxy towards Bertle here, who goes all out, tries to use it to escape as the crash down, trying to get Bible out of there, but Steadfast Presence kind of denies him. Magnet Storm comes out though, and Bible will be okay. Closer now underneath the turret. The equalizer is decent, but Canyon finds the Q. Will is going to have to flash because he doesn't have his W back off cooldown just yet. Looking for his opportunity at the same time. They find the Keeper's Verdict onto the Silas, but it's stolen away. The Lee Sin just wanders forward and collects the Drake. He does go down as now Showmaker's looking to make his way back, but Bible is already dead. I don't think DK want to take this fight. They want to try and get as many out of there as possible, although
ready to contest. You have, I mean, as D+, enough vision, enough wherewithal that this is happening, and they're just going to collapse in. There's no way out of this, Liv Sandbox. There's no cancel buttons. You better hope you get this.
Yeah, well, they do have a smite available. Bible is making his way over. Showmaker is going to have to break down. The Unbreakable Will does do so. Decent pulverize there from Kyle, who's looking to try and get himself out. The Blade Call is too early. Showmaker keeps himself alive, and the Flame Spin is doing so much work. In goes Canyon. He'll find the backline, and Liv Sandbox, they just took a little bit too long. The Azir is going to go down. It's a double kill for this Lee Sin, but I think Liv Sandbox should be able to keep some of these alive as Canyon misses that Q. Willer is going to be his next target, though. Can they get any of these Barons out of here? Another Q is going to miss. And that is one Baron remaining
on your jungler.
Yeah, we'll see what he's going to be able to do. As you can see, Canyon trying to stay in Fog of War. Willer, though, he's going to overextend, needs to flash to get himself out, as now Showmaker has found the cow. That gives him a great ultimate, as well as Willer gets hit by a Void Seeker.
He's just too low to make an impact. At the same time,
another huge flank angle coming through, as Canyon, he will turn up. There's the equalizer. Steadfast Presence goes down, but it can't be there forever. The flash goes forward. He finds the Keeper's Verdict, but it does not matter. The Emperor's Divide comes down, but Closer is just a little bit too far behind, and Liv Sandbox will fall. Bertle still trying to do some Cassante things, though, and there's a couple of kills for Closer. He goes golden at the opportune time. It's just too little, too late, and it is not enough. The Elder, a thing of the past. TK, they want to kill a Nexus. Okay, the engage impetus is going to be on Liv Sandbox here as Bertle looking for that opportunity. We get the zoom from Jonas Strong. He thinks that something's going to happen. Poke going to be there as Keeper's Verdict does come down. They're just going to try and burst it if they can. The equalizer is in and they secure the Elder. Liv Sandbox coming back in a big way in this one. It's Closer, finds another Emperor's Divide. It's a double kill before he goes down. Magnet Storm as Bible's trying to be a hero. And now Def, the last man standing. He has to try and get this one done. The health bars are so extraordinarily low. There's the Void Seeker. Willer going to be taken out, and now it's Teddy versus Def. He finds the ulti. Teddy, he is going to use it, and he's going down. Def picks up the kill. It's a Quadra.
Unbelievable plays from Def. That was actually one of the most insane things I have ever seen. There is just no way. There is no way he should have been able to do that. It's just not, it's not supposed to go like that. He presses E, he gets off on top of Teddy, has the killer instinct for the shield. Look at Teddy's face. He knows he's been done, outplayed by the defending world champion.
Pretty impressed.
He is.
Pretty impressed.
He knows he's been outplayed, man. He knows it.
Hextech Soul is too powerful.
Well, I mean, he took the portal, and then Kaisa's like, well, I guess I'll kill the other two while you're over there.
Yeah. As Bertle's going to go all out, they do manage to get a knockup, but that equalizer is so good this time. It is going to be the kill onto Bible as Closer finds the ulti onto Showmaker, but he does have the Unbreakable Will. He's looking to try and escape. He's not going to be able to because there is a headbutt, and he's just thrown around like a ragdoll. Goes golden at exactly the right time as Def picks up the kill onto the Azir, and now they are so incredibly low. There's the kickback onto Teddy, and Canyon. Oh, he's going to say goodbye to this game in the end, but my goodness, what an incredibly exciting game one between these two teams. I have to say, certainly some negatives to be seen, but entertainment all the way, and that is what we want in the end. As Willer just going to try and survive on his fountain. It's generally a thing that you have to try and do against D+. They love fighting you if you are in your fountain, but it looks like this Nexus will eventually go down. Void Seeker, kind of scary to deal with here, as Deft having the time of his life. They will finally take it down, and D+, winners of game one.
It's like, oops.
Yeah.
Now we got Milio, Saya. That's not what you want.
Although, it does help Zaya have that little bit of extra range, gives you the ability to stop Annie from having a good time. Of course, we've always said that Milio into Annie very strong. Into Counter-Strike also pretty good, so I kind of like it here. Although, doesn't give you any engage at all,
to be honest,
outside of Nature's Grasp.
I would have taken Leona here.
I'm very interested to see whether Liv Sandbox can pull off basically what D+ tried to do with this Rumble pick. Let's jump onto the Rift for game 2. Into the Rumble. Because, of course, Counter-Strike does not work against Flame Spitter. And that means that Rumble kind of do okay. All right. There's the campfire, as Kyle is going to turn up. Willa in decent position, but he's going to be starting off this Drake. As you can see, going for a little bit of a back here, as Canyon representing EDG, doing quite well. As the bear goes completely wide, Showmaker, that was a rare kerfuffle in this mid lane. As he's just going to go back to farming. Kind of just wanted to get Tibbers out, as you can see. And it looks like this Drake is going to belong to Liv Sandbox, so subdued in the early game.
There's that Equalizer just trying to zone Kana out of a little bit of CS here, out of a little bit of farm. It's the Harpoon as well.
Yeah, the space Equalizer.
Yeah, I like the ways in which he's laning this out, despite Kana having that early lead. This is what we were talking about earlier. If you do put on heavy pressure, you're going to get caught by the Viego eventually.
Well, they're going to dive in. The Counter-Strike is going to be following the flash there as they also get the stun. Ult comes through, and that is First Blood going over to Canyon. Bertle just trying to exert too much of that Rumble pressure. Okay, that's Grand Entrance on cooldown. We're going to see a Tibbers come down, actually landing in the mid lane as Teddy getting a little bit aggressive. Doesn't find the Blade Caller for the snare, as Battle Dance is going to be pretty good. But slight disconnect between the Liv Sandbox players as we had a Nature's Grasp grasping at nothing.
Yeah. And they're just going to drop the Herald.
He hasn't really done all that much so far this game. Of course, does want to get to about, an item and a half or something like that before the Jace is really all that useful, as Showmaker may not be able to get plate money, and he isn't able to, but Canyon getting all that money doesn't feel that bad when he's Viego, I guess. Now they're going to have to look for it once again. They're not giving Closer any opportunities to go for any poke, as a teleport can be used from Bertle to get him back in, but he still doesn't have Equalizer. There is the backline access that we were talking about, deft with the Killer Instinct, and they lock down Closer. Teddy has nowhere to go, has to flash over the wall, and Bertle is going to follow him. Void Seeker not going to find its target, but so far it's a 1-for-1 actually, so not exactly the worst.
As he's coming over, I mean, this is going to be closer than it should be here for D+, but I think they still got this on lock.
They certainly should, as Bertle didn't go back actually. They do manage to grab this second dragon, but it looks like it's just not going to be a thing. Showmaker getting equalized as the Grand Entrance comes in, and Bible says, cool Equalizer, allow me to skirt over the top of it, and another ult from Willa here as well. And they do manage to lock down the Rakan. He does go very low. Will they be able to actually get the kill? He has a grand exit, and Showmaker just turns it around. And Liv Sandbox, sometimes you gotta press your R buttons a little bit more together. 10 health as he grandly exits the whole situation after heroically blocking the ult for them, as Bertle might just be dead here. Bible just gonna run at him, and he does overheat, and he does do a bit of extra damage and stuff like that, but he's dead, guys. There we go. Canyon gonna be able to lock down that kill. In the meantime, Canner is taking care of this top outer turret. What happened while we were in that replay, Wolf? As Canyon, he'll turn up as well. He's got a Rift Herald in his back pocket. Willa taking a fair bit of damage. Finally, the bear comes down, and Heartbreaker comes out as well. Willa is going to be kept alive by the Melio, as Canyon in a lot of trouble. Doesn't have his flash, but can slink away into the mist, and actually, he'll escape. Showmaker underneath this turret as well, just vibing, and somehow that all went fine.
Yeah, it looked worse than it actually ended up being, as Teddy does not have ult, but Def's not going to.
Yeah.
He learned from BDD, he's going!
There it is, the Mega Cone comes in. They are going to speed themselves up, as there is the Nature's Grasp. Do we have an equal? Well, I guess the Nature's Grasp doesn't hit anyone. As Tibbers comes down, that is going to get an ultimate out of Kyle. And, they probably wanted it to be 13-13 as another Nature's Grasp just to get themselves this outer turret. But Deft also in trouble as Teddy in point-blank range. But now he's so incredibly low, they will be able to take him down. But everybody else is dying as well, as now Canyon has turned into Teddy. He's looking for the opportunity, but he will be taken out. Now Canna diving into the back line as Bible, his only support right now. Great flash out from Closer there as Willa dives forward, and it's Canna that has to try and get the work done. He leaps strikes to get himself to safety, but it's still a big win for Liv Sandbox, all thanks to Teddy.
It's an extremely broken up fight here for D+, as Kana's going to avoid the Shock Blast. He's got a double buff. I don't think they're going to chase him, and he should be able to get away. If they did chase further into that bush, he would definitely be able to take out the Jace.
How much does that even really matter? Just have to find out. They are now grouped up, though. Voidseeker finds Willa.
And he's just going to reset these over and over and over again.
Yeah, they want to wait for the equalizer, but Willa is just going to die. Twisted Dance or no, no, there is no tree. I'm not, there are moments where you know what the plan was, and there are moments when you don't, and this is the second moment for me.
Contesting Baron, which is being taken.
Yeah, Showmaker on a flank here is now Deft going to dive out. They avoid the equalizer almost completely, but Deft has to flash to get out away from Teddy, who is trying to be a fountain laser. They don't find the Void Seekers now, but Bible is trying to run away, and the rest of his team will turn up to save him. Featherstorm comes down, and Deft says, all right, that's my opportunity, and they're able to take him down. Now, Bertle and Willa are left alive, but D+ have a full health Canyon at 5-1 and 5, 100%.
Yeah. I'm just going in. The rest of the team was like, well, I guess he went in. What he said.
It's just it's very fun watching Showmaker having a good time.
Mid K-Rams over here. I'm down to just win the game.
I also, okay, Killer is going to be used. It's named pretty well, as Bertle's dead. He doesn't have a stopwatch or a Zhonya's or anything, and he's dead. He was in the river, and the rest of his team were going back to defend against the Jacks. So this is the 1-3-1. You can see Canyon. He's made it. He won the race to the Nexus.
Canyon's like, I think solo lane Viego's viable.
All right, we're going to go for the engage here. Is Bible going to need to get out of there? Does break his stopwatch, and Teddy pulls back the feathers. Almost Bible goes down as the sapling. Not going to be enough. They do get the heal out of Deft, though, as I don't know whether it's going to be enough to actually win them a fight, as Deft is just walking forward. Fire kick comes down. It's not going to save these inhibitors as Bible trying to keep himself alive, and I guess it did kind of work out for D+, because after he took all of that damage, they took all of these turrets, as there is a flash out from Deft trying to keep himself alive. Nature's Grasp comes in. They do take down the Annie. As you can see, Canna just diving onto the backline. He's got a stopwatch. Bible is going to die. The Killer Instinct, fantastic, as Closer can't quite get it done, and Canna 1 versus 4 is kind of doing fine. And now Canyon's going to try and take over. Doesn't find the stun there as Willow looks for the base. He'll find it, but his Nexus is now left exposed. These minions are gigantic, and D+ do finish off the 2-0.
That item always so difficult for me to say for some reason. But at the end of the day,
Mao of Malmaudius. I like to use that. And then you
Canyon,
shout out to Chronicle,
17,000 damage this game.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Jason for the POG Interview translation. We are here joined by Deft and Canyon after their 3 consecutive LCK win of the season. Congratulations. It's been a while, Deft. How do you feel about the win? Well, I made a big mistake early on in game 1, so I was not expecting to win POG. Somehow I got a lucky Quadra and they all voted for me, so I gotta say thank you. And Canyon, another POG in the pocket now. You are still holding on to the sole possession on top of the POG standings. How do you feel? I guess I got really lucky because my teammates set it up for me really well, and thanks to them I got a lot of wins and POGs. A very humble POG duos on the side of D+ Kia. I have a question about today's lineup. Bible was your lane partner. How was it playing together with him? He's really talkative for sure. He's really similar to Barrel, actually. Like, he's on the Barrel level of speaking a lot, but I think he does kind of fills in to the role that we actually needed, and also he finished his military service, which I'm really jealous of. Indeed. Bible is the only LCK player that actually served the military service and still active as an LCK player. Anything you want to promote about him additionally? He finished his military service, which is really huge. I want to mention that one more time. And I thought he was pretty old, like, because he finished his military service, but turned out he was pretty young. So he finished his military service and still young. A very, very big kind of advantage as a professional player in Korea, for sure. Now we had Rumble after his rework for the first time in the LCK. So after the rework, a lot of people practiced Rumble in solo queues, and we wanted to try that out in scrims as well. It worked pretty well, so we also wanted to just play it in the LCK too. Kenyon, you played Lee Sin into Bobby. You picked that into Bobby, so which is not an easy matchup in terms of how the skill works. Why did you decide to go for the Lee Sin still? Well, still, if I play out well, I could add a lot of pressure to the opponents. And if I can get a little bit fed, I would be able to find a lot of angle to kind of dominate the game and pop off. And Deft. So we had 3 AP comp in D plus Kia's drafting. Rumble, Silas, and Kaisa as well. Why was that? We were still playing on a patch where static was not nerfed that bad. And also with this static version, I think Kaisa can also add a lot to the macro play. So we knew that we were playing a very high AP damage comp, but we still wanted to try that out. And then with that Kaisa, you were able to salvage your team in a very important moment. So let's take a look at this replay where you were able to get quadra kill after losing that Elder. Were you expecting this outcome? Well, we were really confident about this team fight, but I didn't know that I would be the only one surviving this fight. While my teammates were dying, I was able to keep a decent amount of HP, and my teammates were also doing a lot of damage before they died. So as long as I survive, I knew that we will still be able to win out this team fight. And you were able to dodge all the feathers, and then perfect timing on the W as well. Were you still confident to take this fight after Xayah got the Elder buff? Yeah, I still had my ult up, and anyone would have played the same way in the same situation. And then Kenyon. Last week, Viego was having a very low win rate, but still, Kenyon, you have a very high win rate on that champion. How do you rate Viego right now? Is it a bait pick? It's a very decent AD jungle pick for sure, you know? He's pretty viable in many situations. So he's like, okay level, you know, he's not like OP level good, but still, whenever there's not a good pick to play into the jungle role for AD damage, Viego is a go. And then game 2, it looked like Showmaker was even giving away the resource over to Viego. D plus Kia think that having that Viego fed is the key to winning the series. So as the game turns into a side lane phase, Annie, you know, doesn't really have the best time, you know, managing the side lane waves. So me and Showmaker, we talked about it, and we decided to put Viego on the side lane instead of Annie because that was a better way to play out the map play. And also, you and Bible, Viego and Rakan were finding a lot of picks together. Tell us about the synergy. So Rakan has a really good hard engage. So as long as Viego can make a follow-up kill after the Rakan engage, Viego can turn into a different champion. So it's a really good combo for sure. Now D plus Kia is on a 3-match winning streak, and this Sunday you guys will be playing up against T1. So what are you looking forward to the most in the T1 series? So we have been losing a lot, really hard to the stronger teams of the LCK. So I wish this time we can get a better outcome. We will do our best. Thank you. And Kenyon? Yeah. We will work hard for the upcoming T1 series and do our best in order to get the win. And this will be the end of the interview from Kenyon Deft on D plus Kia, and back to the space. Thank you.